as you may know, I tape my shows. I videotape all of my shows, but I've never actually watched them. I mean, the idea was to, watch them to see how I do with my performance, so to improve my performance, but also, uh, you know, have material to put up on my YouTube channel or whatever, right? To share on my social media. But when I mean, it took me a long time just to get used to listening to myself, my voice being recorded. It was a whole other thing to watch myself perform. And so I never actually watched it because I just couldn't get myself to do it until 2019. Was that last year? Yeah, last year's May show. Um, I asked you, like, hey, how do you think the show went? Because I ask you after every show just to kind of get your take on it. And you said, hey, I think this was your best performance so far. So that actually got me to think, like, oh, maybe I should watch it and to see how it actually went, if that was my best performance. So I watched the next day, which was the weekend. I watched the show that we're going to watch today. And then I went back and watched every single show that I had taped. And in doing so, I thought, oh, it'd be kind of cool if I watch this show with you guys and kind of like see your take on it too, because other than like that simple comment you made, you know, there were no specifics. And also I thought, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we just kind of talk about the performance, nitpick or, critique or make fun of or what, and like it's all game, everything's fine. Like you guys can say whatever you want about the song, about the stupid things I say between the songs. There were some funny moments during that show, so yeah, we could just kind of like talk about it. All right, so this is the May 31st, 2019 show. Share screen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome JJ Ko.
I don't know why it always sounds very funny when my name is announced.
Oh, so we all came from the back. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you actually had a comment about this, Jody, afterwards.
I do not like it. I do not like dead air like this. I don't like...
Actually, that reminds me, I want to buy a parlor guitar. JJ, you need to send me your model.
Okay.
Send it later or in the chat. I like the guitar. It wasn't too expensive, right? Like 600 or something.
500.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like those smaller size guitars.
Came with a case and comes with a built-in pickup.
Right, yeah.
Get a lot of dinner.
Yeah, we have tune. It's like a full... Fast tempo.
Tell me
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I think it's great. I mean, at first I was like, "Whoa, this is so much faster than the version we're working on." But I like the fast tempo. It really, I
Yeah,
like
it's
that
got
as a
some
live
energy.
version. Yeah, it's got lots of energy.
Yeah, and I think like even in the future, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm debating whether or not in the future when we perform this live, if we should do it in that fast tempo or do it closer to the recorded version. Here's what I thought, like, afterwards, like I watched this like over and over again because I knew that we were going to eventually record this song. So, in the studio, and I watched it over and over again, and I don't know, something told me that in the recorded version that this fast tempo thing for some reason wouldn't work as well. I don't know why I thought that. So that's why I kind of like wanted to slow it down and make it more mellow sounding.
I think that's 100% correct. I think I love that for a live version. I think it's great. It's like rocking, kind of jammy. But yeah, I think to chill it out in the studio was the right call. I think.
Mm, yeah. Um,
Yeah, that's pretty
But
common.
yeah,
People
definitely.
play it faster live. I feel like, don't I wouldn't worry about that. It's a lot of people do that. Makes sense.
yeah.
But
I
like it's like the recorded version also doesn't have, this one is kind of driven by my guitar,
Yeah.
and we don't even have my guitar in the recorded version. So it's more like bass driven, that bass line. So it's a totally different kind of approach, but I like them individually for their own reasons.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely a good opening song, kind of brings up the vibe a little bit and kind of yeah. Cool.
But from a theatrical, yeah, I've got to say, my note that we all should not have come from the back. I
Right.
stand by it. I think
Right.
it's, we could have, think of the energy in the room if Sebastian and I had played You On, just started playing that, and like the audience is rocking out, and instead it's like nobody talks on stage. We all creep in from the back. We're all tuning, and everyone's just waiting. Like, I think we just need, next time,
Mm.
let's start the show off with a bang and play You On. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I
Fine.
definitely agree. I think in hindsight, it's just I don't know why I thought all of us going up at the same time was a good idea.
Well, I gotta say, listen. I got some musical ideas, JJ, but on stuff like that, you gotta listen to me. That's what I know what I'm talking about when it comes to stuff like that.
Yes, yes. And I think I give you right now, because this is being recorded, I give you permission to veto me anytime I have a stupid idea like that.
Next time I'll just be like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it.
Didn't we do that at the first gig? Like what Jody just said, where
Yeah,
we
you guys,
started playing and then you walked in on your own,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was, and I think, yeah, that definitely worked out better. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
this this show was the only show where we walked up together. All the other shows, you guys, well, Sebastian, you weren't always there, but Jody and the other guitarists, they were always up on stage, and I was the only one who walked up. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know why I had this bright idea that it would have been fun for all of us to go up together. Don't know why.
Well, now we know. That's it's good to try out stuff and then what works, what doesn't.
I
Yeah,
think I'm just especially sensitive to it because I come from the comedy world where dead air
yeah,
is like, it's like it makes I call it my pacing gut. Like if I feel it in my stomach, like, oh no, like I start to panic. Like, somebody do something.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
get, so that's why I'm very sensitive to it.
yeah. By the way, I forgot to introduce you guys on the video itself. I'm gonna pause sharing. Oops. Wait. Stop share. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so we're doing I started doing this series of JJ commentates on her own performance. It's very sort of what do I call it? Um uh shoot. Okay, anyway, I'm blanking out. Well, each episode I'm commentating on a different show performance, and I also have different guest commentators on. Today we have Jody Shelton and Sebastian Noel as my guest commentators. They also Jody's my producer, Sebastian's my guitarist, and so they're not only commentating, they're also performing in this particular show. So you guys are, I think you guys are watching this for the first time, right?
For sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, so that would be interesting too, just to like, and you guys can comment on your own performance as well, not just mine.
Eh, I don't know.
No.
That never goes well. Yeah.
um, but anyway, one thing I noticed watching this, let me start sharing again. Watching this is that how much you guys actually do look at me while you guys are performing. Because like when I'm on stage, I'm completely oblivious to everything that's going on. I'm just so like, I need to get this right, and I have no idea you guys are cueing each other or anything. I'm just doing my thing, and so yeah, good job, you guys. um, I guess I
Well,
didn't.
I think I can speak for Sebastian. I think this is not our first rodeo. Isn't that right, Sebastian? I think we've
Yeah.
done this once
No,
or
I mean
twice before.
it's yeah, exactly. I mean it's important. I mean you always have very clear sheets, but I'm so used to visual cues and so much of that like solo sometimes I don't look at the sheet and do I solo after the second or third chorus, so I kind of rely on visual cues more than actually. But I mean, you're always very clear with the sheet, so that's good. But in general, like I mean, that's something you could also keep in mind that it's always even if you have it written down, you can like look at me when my solo's coming up, or like step up to the mic when my solo is about to end, or those kind of little things are always very helpful.
Yeah, I think that's something. And it would have been nice if I actually watched these videos like after each show, and then so I could kind of, learn, right, how I should be interacting with my performers on stage. But well, better late than never. So after I finally watched them, like, oh, you know what? There's a lot of interaction, a lot of like visual cues, and a lot of things going on, and I should be more aware of that. But anyway, I want to thank you guys officially for supporting me the way you do on stage, because like I had no idea that that was going on, but you guys make it seamless, so it's great.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay,
Of
moving
course.
on. Oh, yeah.
By the way, did you record this with the
Thank you.
is this the camera mic, or
That was
is
a
this
brand
Yeah, I think it's a
spanking
camera
new
mic.
song.
oh, okay, yeah,
Um,
sound
I
is
wrote
pretty
it,
balanced,
I think, last
clear.
year. And
So watch
I
this.
think it's called Tell Me. I'm
I
not
am
sure.
totally flailing here.
Um, so the next song,
So I'm just gonna pause for a second. I'm totally flailing here because it's like, um, so what's interesting is, during my performance, I do, because I have the song sheet up in front of me too, so I do kind of like keep looking at it. But I have to say, while my eyes go there, that when I look at it, I see absolutely nothing. Like nothing registers. So everything I'm doing is completely from, practice that I've done that's in my muscle memory or in my memory. Even though I have the song sheet there, and like even like my talking points, notes, it's all there. When I'm looking at the sheet on stage, I see absolutely nothing. So so that was me. It's like I always seem to like sort of flail a little bit in the beginning. Once I kind of like get into, I would say maybe like midway through the performance, that's when I start getting a little more comfortable. But yeah, I mean, what I say there is like, hey, this is a brand new song. I wrote it in 2018, which is a year before the actual performance. It's like, well, that's not new. And I'm like self-editing as I'm talking. And then, Jody, you're moving away from me to the piano. And then for some reason, at one point, I look at Sebastian like he has no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, okay.
Well, that's part of your charm. So
Uh,
your audience, that's what they, yeah,
really?
they want to hear.
I don't know if that's a good thing. Anyway, okay, let's move on.
Well, it's funny, and that's good.
It's on the album, so it's not new, but I never sang it at my show. So this is the first time performing.
This is nothing, yeah.
Where did you come from? Why are you here? Did I invite you, chum? Did you suddenly appear? Why do you question me when it's plain as can be? You just lost your man, so I'm here as a friend. Oh, Lord, 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 la, la,
Struggling here a little bit.
la, la, where do I go now? What do I do? I am lost, you know, in my bitter sorrow. I know it hurts like hell. You climbed high and you fell. You hit bottom hard and you feel forever scarred. Oh, Lord, 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 ah, la, 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 pick yourself up. You must now look up. Too long you've been down. You must swim or you'll drown. How do I break out of my shell? How do I climb out of this well? I have nothing to give. Tell me, how do I live? Oh, Lord, 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 ah, la, la, la,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite JJ Co song.
Wait, still of all the songs, still?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
by far.
What is it? What is it about that song that makes it your favorite?
I love that ethereal chorus. I love the harmonies. I love that it sort of flow. It's got this beautiful flow to it. I love that it's moody and sad, but not hopeless. And I don't know. It's got a vibe, as they say.
Yep, I agree. I like that one too.
I think we all like our moody songs.
Yeah.
I know. I will say I love this song. but at the same time, for some reason, it's not a song that I love to perform. And I think it's because in the recording, it sounds so nice, and it's really difficult to replicate that etherealness that we have in the recording on a live stage. So I think when I was singing the song, I was just like, you know what, I said to myself, just sing it however I feel in that moment, and that's the best I could do for this song, you know, because trying to replicate that, I was like, there was no way we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I think if I would like I always say, you want to conquer the quiet songs. And there was one in my band Daughter and Son. There was a song called Whisper that was kind of like this. It was very, very quiet, very intimate, and we could never make it work live because it always felt like we were pushing or something, But I would love to. I love the challenge of trying to make that song work live. I think
Yeah.
if we don't push and we just like let it be, I think it totally works. We just we'll keep working on it.
Yeah, yeah. So I think maybe the next time we get to perform live, we'll include that. After the show at the after party, one of my sisters, she came up to me and she said that this song made her cry, and and right as she was about to like really like, you know, pour down, that my other sister accidentally spilled water on the table, and that sort of snapped her out of it, and so she didn't cry anymore, or something. I don't know. And I'm
That's
like,
funny.
what's wrong with that cry? But I don't know. I have this thing like I love it. I think for me, the biggest compliment that I get from my audience is if they tell me that my songs made them cry. I don't know why. It's like, that's what I want them to do, cry.
You want to torture people.
No, because they feel so much that, it just comes out or something.
Yeah, I think people like those quiet songs. When I was kind of, noticed that too when we were doing the listening session to the tracks.
Mm.
It seemed like people like the really, intimate and kind of quiet songs, and I think that's those are the strong ones. I mean, the other ones too, but don't. I feel like I always feel like that's your strength, those tunes.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna ask you guys that. So, yeah. I think like right now, my favorite is Rain on Me, because again, it's very moody, has these dark sort of undertones, but at the same time, it's not completely hopeless. There's a silver lining there, right? There's like this thread of hope weaved into sort of like this emotional turmoil that I'm trying to express.
Yeah, but there's something about you and your voice and your writing, but it's in a minor key. You work the very best in a minor key, I believe, JJ. I don't know why.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay, I found my thing. Okay, I need to
But then
write more.
you can't do all sad songs in a show or in an album. You gotta, it's you gotta give
Yeah?
some variety.
Is there a rule that I can't do only sad songs? Maybe I should. One show.
I mean, I love an album of, there's a jazz album, Shirley Horn album called Here's to Life that's all ballads. And I love it. I love an all ballad set.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like how, women, when we get depressed, or when, our boyfriends break up with us or something, then we watch like the string of like sad movies with a tub of ice cream. It's like,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
go deeper into the sadness. That's how we come out of it.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be the saddest song in the entire set. No more sad songs after that. It was an obligatory sad song. Now this is a happy song. This song actually was the third song I ever wrote, and this song came after a 3 or 4 year dry spell, or block, or what is that, dry spell? Yeah. Like, so after I wrote a couple of songs, I could not write another song. Nothing came to me. And then this song came like 3 or 4 years later, and this actually broke through, and then after that, I just kept writing.
Good for you.
I want to laugh, I want to cry too, I want to do whatever I do. Know that you still love me.
Joe, I meant to do this as a sing-along, but we didn't actually get to do it that way.
I want to sing, know that you'll hear me. I want to be me, want to be free. Want you to laugh, want you to cry too, want you to do whatever you do. I know that I still love you. Want you to jump, know that I'll catch you. Want you to sing, know that I'll hear you. Want you to be free with me. What's a lifetime of misery? We're not free. Oh, can't you see? What's a lifetime of loneliness? Without you, here with me. Lifetime, a lifetime, lifetime, a lifetime, lifetime, a lifetime, a lifetime, a
Hey, that's a good thing.
let's not talk loud and cry together. Let's take it always. Let's just talk back and take our heart out. Let us go do whatever we do, you and me. Lifetime thing, you and me. A lifetime, a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to be recording that, JJ?
That's a good question. I don't know. It doesn't really fit into the next album. It doesn't really fit into anything. If we do record that, it may end up being like a single. But before we even get there, like there's a bunch of things I want to do to that song, you know?
Because
Make it-
I mean, I think what I always have heard is sort of like lots and lots of voices, right? Like singing the different parts. And so because we're doing that on this record, I think it maybe could have a place on the record because so many of the songs are like 8, 12, 16, 20 voices. So maybe.
Yeah. So this song we only sang, so there's verse, chorus, bridge, and the different parts in the bridge, right? So there are like at least 3 or 4 other parts that I had written for this song. And this song was originally meant to be like a, what are those songs called?
Round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was meant to be like that kind of a song, except I made some mistakes in the writing of it that the different parts don't always like go together. So
Well, that's why it's the kind of puzzle piece that's fun for me to do, you know, to try to figure out which parts go well and which. So if we end up recording it, I think it'd be fun to do.
actually, you know what? I take it back. I think thematically it can fit in the second album, because what this is talking about, you know how like I often write cryptic, kind of, for lack of a better word. Like on the face of it, it sounds like it means something. Oh shoot, what just happened? Okay. On the face of it, it sounds like it means something, but there's like actually a different intended meaning. So here, freedom here, we're not talking about like democracy freedom or even personal freedom. This actually is talking about freedom in Christ. So it is religious. It is that sort of like, you know, God undercurrent or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it could. Well, here's the thing though, like I don't want this album to be like full of songs that I had already written that had, you know, I don't know. We could talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I think I'm not sure if I want to play like all the little talking parts in between
My
songs.
guitar volume was off.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Like the highest heel I ever worn.
Okay. You know what? This is actually kind of funny. Hold on.
It's just for show. Oh my god. This is like the highest heel I ever worn. Let me tell you, I had to practice walking up and down. Okay.
I don't know. What do you guys think about like the stupid things I say in between the songs?
No, people love it.
Yeah.
You took a walk with me. We went for a while under the shade of trees, maybe for a mile. Storm clouds rushed in, poured down the rain, rolled down her chin, and it was plain. Life took us by surprise. We did not sway.
Good tempo.
Here we stand, come what may.
Not too slow, not too fast.
Life took us by surprise. We did not sway. Here we stand, come what may.
So when I was practicing, I had intended to play my
We
guitar,
picked
but
up pebbles
for some reason
along
I
the
couldn't keep it
shore.
together, singing it and playing at the
We
same time.
skipped
So I just
them one by one, then we looked for more. Ocean wave crashed in, washed away the sand. We jumped right in, hand in hand. Life takes us by surprise, time to be brave. Here it comes again, just ride that wave. Life takes us by surprise.
Nice, Sebastian.
Time to be brave. Here it comes again. Let's ride that wave. I made you 7 scars, one for each day. You gave me 7 hugs, chased the blues away. Winter winds blew in, gave us a chill. We put on our grin and ran uphill. Life takes us by surprise. We do not care. It's not what we have, it's what we share. Life takes us by surprise. We do not care. It's not what we have, it's what we share. It's not what we have, it's what we share.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I think in one previous show, I think Jody, you played the guitar on this. but I think I like it with the piano and Sebastian on the guitar. I think it works.
I like it. I like it guitar piano. I like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
two
it's nice.
together really works.
And I think, I mean, Sebastian, I think like, you know, it could be your training, you know, the fact that you're a jazz guitarist, and so improvisation comes like second nature to you. And so I think there's something interesting that happens in a live setting, you know, that we don't always get like in a studio setting, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's always some, element of improvisation in there, even if I'm playing a pattern, I'm not playing it exactly the way I'm playing it in the studio. So, yeah,
Yeah.
there'll always be a little bit of that, and sometimes there might be something that fits right in there, and sometimes there'll be something that's, okay, that, we didn't really need that. So, I mean, on a small scale, I try to always be respectful to, to your singing, but yeah, you can always suggest stuff if there's something you're hearing or more
Yeah.
filled
Well,
or
that's the thing.
less filled, I don't know.
I feel like you do your best work when things are not suggested to you.
Yeah, I agree, but I also need to be reined in, if you let me just go, I'll just, I'll I might overplay, and then, I think Jody's good with that.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes like these songs, they live from the simplicity, and there's both, but I like the idea of having being more disciplined in the studio, and then live you just let your hair down a little bit
Yeah,
more.
and like you said, JJ, it's like, it's how you're feeling on the day. It's how
Yeah.
you're kind of reading the room. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm so used to reading the room because of my comedy background that like if I feel the room is a little dead, I automatically start playing more, and I almost have no control of it.
Mm,
And if I
yeah.
feel like the room is if the room is really soaking it up, and just like I feel like they're really with us every moment, then I really stretch out and lay back a little bit more and take a little more time. Um,
Interesting.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true,
I'm very
actually.
sensitive to the room itself and the people, and kind of what their vibe is too. So and Sebastian, I feel like on that song, the two of us were really kind of dancing by
Yeah.
each other musically, just sort of like
Yeah.
he was doing some really cool sort of low leading tone stuff that I was picking up on, and then taking. It was just really just a lot of interesting interplay there.
I liked it too, especially if we have a song like that where we have one piano, one guitar. It's like I like that instrumentation, and with three guitars, I feel like I want to play less because there's so
Mm.
much guitar already. But like if there's piano and guitar, it comes through a little more.
Yeah. I mean, three guitars though, like you're the only one, even if we have all three guitars, you're the only one playing the solo parts, you know? Like Jody, when you play the guitar, you're usually doing rhythm guitar, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's.
and
Uh,
I'm doing whatever.
Yeah, right.
but it's good.
But
It's good to change up the instrumentation though. To have
yeah,
like the opening song, we had three guitars, and then sometimes we have two guitars, and sometimes we have piano and guitar, sometimes we have just piano. It's nice for the audience to get a little crop rotation for their ears.
Yeah, yeah, but I think I think if we do record this in the studio, we're gonna have to like kind of use this as sort of a guide or something, you know?
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
this turned out really well. Yeah,
yeah, I like this one.
yeah, cool. By the way, the sister that who I made cry with the second song, she said this is her favorite song. So,
Aw.
Mm. Hmm.
all right, so moving on.
Thank you. I always forget to do this. Thank you everyone for coming to my show.
Oh, whatever.
I always forget to welcome people. Thank you so much.
I feel like I'm gonna skip.
Right? Sorry, it came out of me, but I don't get
Whatever,
your
whatever.
heart of tears.
Stupid things. I don't want to hear myself. Hold on.
Kind of my favorite. Yeah, they are. Okay. Hello, my dear old friend. Tell me a story that never ends. Pour out your heart right here.
Watch my head, JJ. Watch my head.
And your soulful dear.
On stage or right now?
Sing
On
me
stage.
a lullaby.
Okay.
And keep me company, for we are your friends. I'm crying.
What are you doing?
The tempo's there now, but in the first
Uh,
8 bars, I was like, eat it up, eat it up.
Lonely years, through all the sorrows and fears, others have come and gone. You knew me before the dawn. Sing me a lullaby and keep me company, for we are dear old friends. I'm crying. I see no shelter.
I'm not sure if I like this particular performance.
All life's welter. Let me wait for that secret, for that moment of respite. Let me wait for that secret, for that moment of respite. Sing me a lullaby and keep me company, for we are dear old friends. I'm crying. Sing me a lullaby and keep me company, for we are dear old friends. I'm crying with me.
That's just totally pitchy.
Come cry with me.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, good.
Also, what was going on that day? For some reason, my mouth was like very watery. It like throughout the entire show, like I kept needing to like swallow or something. So the little glitch
I
you
don't know
saw.
why, I really like this song. It's actually the title song of my album,
That's better than dry, though, JJ.
and it's
Oh,
called
yeah.
Entwine. I think the last time I introduced this song, like I forgot to say what the title was.
And I forget to say it again.
Yeah. Rose entwine like the old ancient vine. They bend and turn without a pause or a sign. How will I know the one I choose is mine?
Yeah.
So the next
See, that was
song is
great to have
actually the
two
song that
guitars
started it
there.
all for me.
Oh, sorry. What just happened? Darn it. Wait, hold on. There's like time markers on this. No more. Rose Entwine. Okay.
Rose Entwine.
Cry a little.
And I was gonna say something else about it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yes, this is what started it.
Yeah. Okay. So, by the way, so my origin story, this is kind of funny. This is my origin story of how I became a singer-songwriter or songwriter. I've been telling this version of the story that's actually wrong. The way I've always told it is, hey, I used to write poems. I've been writing poems since I was in high school. And one day I wrote a poem that I hated. So I thought, oh, I'll turn it into song lyrics. That's actually incorrect. The other day I actually went back to my notes and kind of like, and saw, for this song, all the notes that I had written down over the progress of this song, becoming. And as it turns out, the poem that I wrote, it's not that I hated it. I actually liked it so much that I wanted to turn it into a song lyric. And it was the song lyric that I hated. And so I needed a second opinion. And that's why I gave it to my friend. And then he set it to music. And that's kind of how it went about. So the way I used to tell it is, almost like, oh, I sort of accidentally became a songwriter. No, there was actually intention behind it. I wanted to turn a poem into song lyric. So, whatever.
That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, yeah, this is something that I wanted to do subconsciously or consciously, however consciously that decision was. But yeah, so that kind of, it wasn't so haphazard or accidental.
But then you didn't really start writing more songs until a few years later, right?
A few years later, yeah. So after I wrote this song, immediately I wrote another song. And then in the third song I wrote actually was Open Mic Blues, which, I didn't know how to write a blues song. So it never actually became a song until, what was it, 2018 or the second show of 2017 or something like that. Right. So after that, I had like a 3 or 4 year drought. And I thought like, oh, okay, maybe that was it. That was all, those were all the songs I had in me. Yeah. All right. Yeah, cool. So let's listen.
Oh yes, I was gonna say yes. This is also one of only 2 songs where I actually collaborated with somebody else. So,
Adam, can we get a little more light? I need to be able to see for this one. Is it possible? There we go. Thank you.
Little stage direction.
behind the walls I had erected, loneliness was my only friend. Into the tent I headed, solace might be around the bend. sense me from afar. Were you near me from the start? I won't crumble then instead. The moment you touch my heart, and you touch my heart. Every time you touch my heart, I cry little. Every time I cry, I die little. You make me die little every time, yes you do. You make me die little every time. Tell me why when you touch me, I die little every time. Little every time, yes I do. Yes I do.
So JJ, I have a question. So you when you first approached me, was it 11 years ago, something like that, 12 years ago, about recording together, you had a demo of this song, is that right? You'd already recorded this with somebody, or is it a different song?
No, I don't think I played for you any demos. I think one of the songs that I did play for you right there was Cry With Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but there was a one that you had recorded with another producer, but he had sung on or something, or a guy had sung on
Right.
it.
That song is Here I Am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did actually sing that song in one of the shows, but yeah, I don't think we ever tried to like re-record that or anything. If we do end up recording that, like I would change it. I would actually revert back to sort of the original version of that song, which I'm having a really hard time remembering. So and back then I didn't actually like do any voice recording of the songs, which I later started doing. But that one I have a hard time remembering exactly how the original version went.
Because what I think people don't know is that we recorded several songs with Oscar Abas Rodriguez engineering and playing guitar back then, and we never released them. It wasn't until we re-recorded several of them for Roads Entwine.
Yes. So the original EP that was recorded in 2011. So I think we started working together either very early 2011 or late 2010. I think is when we started working together. And the EP, the recording of that was done maybe like early summer or late spring of 2011. And it was 4 songs. It was Some May Say, which is going to be in the second album, Cry With Me, Little Raymond Jones, and I Feel at Home. So the 3 songs were eventually included in the first album. Yeah.
That's right. Maybe the original recordings from that session will go on the box set someday, JJ.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing though.
Anthology.
I don't have the final versions, and that's part of the reason why I never released it. Because like Oscar and I, we went back and forth trying to get the files from him, but then too much time had passed, and then he couldn't find, the files or
Oh
something.
no. Okay. I'm sure there's somewhere. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if I told you this, but the first 2 albums or EPs that I recorded, the masters were lost in a fire.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
I didn't have them on a hard drive. I didn't have the sessions on a hard drive. They were at this producer's studio, and so my first 2 records are gone. They're on the internet for people to hear, but like the sessions are gone.
Yeah, I think Oscar, either it's gone or it's somewhere and he can't find it. He certainly eventually could not find the hard drive that I had left with him. But again, it's my fault because I let too much time pass in between trying to get the files from him. One possibility is to locate the person who did the mastering and see if maybe he kept a copy. Otherwise, I think it just might be gone.
I mean, or you could also, I don't know. There's like, if you're doing an anthology or whatever, you could put like a wave or an MP3 of the mix down that we had at the time, and you know, it might be interesting for people to hear just archivally.
I do have MP3s of earlier mixes of these songs, not the final mix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might have final mixes, so I might can look through my, if you ever need them. This is a conversation for another day.
No, if you have final mixes of these songs, I'd like them. I would love to get them.
I'll
Yeah.
look through and see what I have. But
Yeah. But again, like, don't drive yourself crazy looking for them. I resolved to the fact that it's irretrievable at this point. But I resigned, not resolved. I resigned to the fact that it is gone forever.
It's good to let things go. We can
Yes.
Marie Kondo our lives, like let the things go.
Move on. All right.
Hey JJ, listening to these songs, I can totally hear a third harmony vocal on some of those. So
On this one?
this one and the one before too. A lot of the ones that Jody's singing. We can talk about it if we when we do the next show, if and when. I think it'd be
you mean third vocal on the stage?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun for me. It'd be a good challenge too, because it'd be something for me to practice, like singing and playing at the same time. But I could totally, I can totally do it. Not playing. I can focus on the singing. It'll be great, And if I play, but it's something I've been wanting to, get into more, like, find the chance to practice a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like on songs where the chorus repeats and you're not doing anything fancy in the choruses. Because I know, like, when you're doing, like some songs, the part of the song's sort of strength is your the guitar, your sort of like riffing and stuff like that.
That'd be even more of a challenge to do that plus singing. Maybe that in 5 years, but like,
But we can find the
I'm
spots,
Yeah.
Right. If I'm just strumming, I think I can totally do it. It's just something I would, I want to practice that stuff. And sometimes there's, like you have vocals and like there's a little bit of space in between you and Jody, and there's a voice that might fit in between, or sometimes a lower voice, or
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah. I think Sebastian, I think you have a naturally lower voice,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I can get, I definitely have to strain to get, and I can't get up there like Jody, but like, I mean, I can sing higher, but it's just a matter of training my voice a little bit, I mean, I've been doing some singing just for myself, and I can already, like the range, the more you sing, the range
Yeah.
expands a little bit,
I think Jody, you're just amazing in terms of your vocals. Your range in vocal is like amazing, and your range in terms of like orchestration and all that is just amazing. So it's like,
Well, thank you. That's very nice. Thank you.
yeah, I don't know if I acknowledge it enough, because I know, like, I particularly like guitar as an instrumentation. So like whenever Sebastian plays, like, I just love it. I just kind of like, I just love listening to it.
And he's so
But
good too.
yeah, no, he's amazing.
Oh,
But
thank you.
yeah, but I don't know if I also acknowledge Jody enough in terms of like all the unseen stuff that you do, not only on stage, but also like in the studio. Because when you're listening to the final outcome of a song, like, I mean, unless you're aware of like how a song is created and mixed and engineered and all that stuff, like a novice here like may not understand that. But I think also, particularly like in the new process working dynamic that we have since the lockdown, and we're working remotely a lot, so I'm having to do a lot of like stuff on my end, and I'm kind of understanding more and more, like all the little things, a lot of
Right.
little things, all the moving parts that you have to like piece together.
Well, recording a vocal is its own art form. I mean, and getting piecing it together into a seamless whole when it's a lot of little pieces is a really difficult thing to learn to do, whether you're doing it for yourself or for someone else. And I just did. We're doing a silly musical theater writing contest where I had to perform. I had to record a song on camera all in one take today, and I've never had to do that. Because JJ, we do, when you do a vocal, you do bits and pieces, but to do a vocal all the way through for 4 minutes, not stopping perfectly, is so impossibly hard. People don't realize how much work we do, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know what I would love to do one day though is actually rent a studio and do a live recording album. Which means like I'll need to practice for years probably.
It would need to be, if we're going to do that, I would insist that it's got to be rehearsed within an inch of its life.
Yeah. And I think if we do something like that, I would definitely add a fourth person, like a bassist, upright bassist or something. Yeah. Well,
maybe even percussion, drums and percussion, maybe too.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I'm realizing I'm not a huge percussion person. Don't know why. Like I had to listen to your mixes over and over and over again, and some of the songs where you have percussion and the songs for the album we're working on. Like my immediate reaction I find is like when the drums come out and the other percussions come out, I'm like, my immediate reaction is like I don't like it, and like I don't know why. And I have to listen to it over and over again and then get used to it. And then I realize like, oh, it makes sense. It works. Okay, I like it now. Yeah, I don't know.
I just think a little percussion on your stuff is helpful on certain songs. Certain songs should be, none of it. But just a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit here and there.
The next song is actually a collaboration too, and it's actually, the story behind the song is kind of funny. So I'm not a trained musician, and the person I collaborated with is not a songwriter. So what we actually ended up, this is a true story. We just wrote a list of the chords that we liked. And we basically just kind of like, literally like if you put it in a hat, you picked it out, and that's kind of how the song came about. But I made it work.
The story behind this song is actually it's a lot longer than that. But
watch my head for tempo.
Yeah, I know.
Not too slow, not too slow, not too slow.
In Manhattan, how I long to see you again.
Sebastian, when you're playing, do you see Jody doing that with him?
Yeah.
Because like obviously I'm oblivious to it.
Yeah, I see it out of the corner of my eyes.
Streets I go, and they shine. And then
But Jody, am I not picking up the cue?
now that I mention it, now that I remember it, now that
This song cannot drag.
talk about it.
And it started a little bit. It needs to.
Away from it, how I do long for it to be back in the city I love. Summer rain.
I think I still haven't figured out exactly
In Manhattan, how I long to see you again. I look down from my ninth floor office window, streets covered in the canopy of black umbrellas. Young and old, rich and poor, fool and wise, big and small, we are all just the same brain touches all.
I think either I'm dragging
Paints the
or I
sky,
speed up.
liquid
One of those two.
fills the
I can't
air.
seem to like find the right
Witnessed
tempo.
all that we all still look for the silver lining.
I have got to coming.
Summer rain in Manhattan. How I long to see you again.
I'm very aware of my conducting faces. I don't see them very often. I've got this look, which is watch me, which is this. Look at me, I'm about to do something, you know. It's like Sebastian. That's it, you know. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you naturally want to lay back that, you know, JJ, and sometimes it sounds good, but we have to fight, or rather, we have to make sure that we don't go with you. You know, you sort of have to, yeah, you know, like it's easy to lay back too when you lay back. So either you learn how to not, but sometimes it actually, you know, it can work that the vocals are a little further laying back a little bit and we're pushing a little bit. You know, it's just something that we have to be aware of, and it's good for you to practice it really metronomically in time too. You know, whether you end up laying it back or not, but that's, you know, just practice it with the metronome and try to be really on top of the beat.
I think though this song, it's I think it's one of those songs where I can't let it drag, but at the same time, when I'm singing on the beat, right, with the beat, that it sounds staccato, or it doesn't sound natural. Like I need to sing this laid back, but at the same time not let it drag, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
feels a little bit like the chorus and the verses want to be in different tempos.
Right. Yeah.
But so this is an example of a song that's still coming together for the three of us to really feel like it's like all the parts are working. We're still fighting each other a little bit, but it's you know, it's a new, we haven't done it very much, so it's not, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the first time the three of us are doing this together. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like this song. I like this song the way it is. I'm not sure from the songwriting perspective if it needs to change. But I think it's one of those songs that kind of uh, different, or like
It's one of your weird ones.
it's one of my weird ones, right? So if I was a trained musician, like I probably would not have written the song this way, you know. But because I don't know music theory and a bunch of other things like a trained musician would know, and it would be sort of part of their DNA. I'm just kind of winging it. I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't
I
know.
mean, that's one of the interesting parts of your, you as a writer, though, is that you don't come from an academic background, as far, because that can get really boring. People who are super trained in composition, their compositions can be boring sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that you have a kind of an outsider perspective on writing, which is for me what's interesting about your writing.
On the other hand, most of my song is very predictable. It's a 3-4-5 progression.
But this one has some chords that are unusual, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's kind of cool. I like that. Nick Drake was one of those.
Yeah.
He wasn't. Wasn't a theory guy, but so he
Oh,
sometimes
I
had
love Nick Drake.
chords.
You
Me too.
you know
Me
Nick
too.
you
Yeah.
know Nick Drake, right, JJ?
No, Nick Drake, I'm writing
Oh,
it down.
Oh, JJ,
Nick
your
yeah.
life
Drake.
is about to change. I'm so jealous you have never heard him. You're gonna get to hear it for the first time
Right. Right.
tonight.
Yeah. No, I went
That's
through a heavy
exciting.
phase of that. He basically made that one album, and he died pretty young.
Oh,
But maybe he made a couple, but there's
He
one.
made he made three. They're all really
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he did three albums and then four recordings right before he died. And I know every single song backwards. He's one of he's just one of those people who didn't get any respect, as a writer and performer in his lifetime.
hmm.
But then he just, my generation idolizes him. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
Wow, it's from the 70s. I love. Well, he also did something in 2000s.
nope, he died in 1974.
Okay,
That
this
must
was
have been a
released
re-release or
posthumous.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
posthumous releases. All right, I just download all of Nick Drake. So I
You're
will.
going to just listen to
Yeah.
the song Pink Moon. I mean, the album Pink Moon all the way through.
Pink Moon, that's the one. Yeah.
It's a
Riverman
great
is
album.
my
Yeah,
favorite
Oh, it's so
song.
great.
Yeah.
cool. Okay, thanks. Um, all right, so moving on. So I get to put on my guitar.
My hat off for a while. It's getting hot. So the next song is actually a birthday song. So any upcoming birthdays, any birthdays, recent birthdays? Recent who? Esther. Perfect. Okay. So a little context, because some of the words you might think it's weird. So this birthday song is written from the God's perspective. So think of it as God singing you happy birthday. Okay.
So this is one of the Raymond Jones songs, actually.
Oh. Thank you. This heavy book with leather bound, flip through the pages you call life. Wide open, love, your heart and mine. Place your
This
momentum
is dragging a little bit.
here and there and see
But you're not doing that.
all of your years gone by and those to be. Mark every milestone and all your strides. Fill every page of the book you call your life. Beautiful and dear Esther. All the angels shout and celebrate the life of the one I love.
So there's another, I think it was the August show of 2017. I have the clip from that show up on YouTube also. I think there I sing it better than this. That performance I think is much better than this. But anyway,
What do you think makes it better?
I think my my vocal quality. For some reason, like when I watched this entire show video, that one thing that I noticed was, especially songs like this, the sweetness in my voice, like I don't sing sweetly at all. I'm just kind of singing, and I think that's one of the things that's lacking in my performance this show. I think pitch wise overall, I think this show is probably the best, but it's also missing some of that sweeter, softer quality that I have in some of the other performances.
Well, I wonder if we can also just make sure that your monitor is really great, so you can hear yourself. I mean, a lot of the reason why people push live, on their vocals is they can't hear themselves.
Yeah.
Or they push to hear themselves over the instruments. But so next time, you need to make sure that you can really hear yourself very, very well, that the monitor is cranking.
Yeah.
Because that's you always sound best when you sing very, very softly.
Yeah, I know. So I think I need to kind of sort of, hone in that a little better. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Okay, moving on.
When was your birthday? 22nd. You're Taurus then. Gemini. Wait, really?
I'm a Gemini.
There are 4 May birthdays in my family, all May Gemini. 2 of them are here. No, 3, including me, are here. Actually, when the house lights got a little brighter, I noticed one of my brother-in-law sitting there, and I didn't expect him to be there, so it kind of threw me off.
So this is the very first show that I did. A bunch of my family members there. One of my sisters.
I saw you. I didn't see 그냥
my nephew and niece. This show,
okay.
both my
So,
sisters
yes.
and their husbands
This,
and one of my nieces showed up. And I didn't know they were coming.
So actually, the song just before and this song and the song after this, they actually some of my songs actually have fans. So this is one of my friend's favorite song. She's not here today, but she couldn't be here. But I'll sing it for her anyway. And Jody gets a break from playing.
But I still have to sing.
I make him sing. Everywhere people search for the one to call their own, hoping to find someone to love. They long to find a home for the wandering heart. Here you are, I feel at home with you. This is where my heart belongs. I feel at home with you. No other place I'd rather be. I feel at home with you. Never again will I be alone. When I think of you, you are the one for me. I feel at home with you. Waiting for my flight feeling alone in the crowd, wondering where I'm headed. Then I realize here I am, I'm going home to you. I'm going where my heart belongs. I'm going home to you. Wherever I am, wherever I've been, I'm going home to you. I'm never really all alone when I think of you. You are the one for me. I feel at home with you. Friendly faces turn to strangers. Others become our new friends. People come and go through our lives. Here we are. I feel at home with us.
You're swaying at the same time, JJ. Funny.
Oh, yeah, that too.
This is where my heart belongs.
Later on, we kind of like do that again in a different song, and it's like, whoa, hey.
No other place I'd rather be. I feel at home with you. Never again will I be alone when I think of you. You are the one for me. I feel at home with you. You are the one for me.
I totally messed up the landing.
I feel at home with you.
So this is one of the few songs where I actually wrote the beginning intro and the ending part with just different variations of the C chord. I think, I don't know, C add 9 something or whatever. But anyway, I totally messed up the ending there. I don't know if anybody notices.
People never notice that kind of thing.
I know, and I think that's one of the things that I actually also had to learn is when I mess up, just don't show it, just keep going, and no one really knows, you know. I will say, like, this is one of audience favorites. This one, Lucky Enough, and I think people also like the Open Mic Blues. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Sebastian, you're on mute. So, you know, I often, like, for this song, you know, the bridge part, the instrumental bridge part, I know I kind of kept it the way it is in terms of the chord progression and stuff, which is kind of sort of a weird progression. And even like Sebastian, when we were recording the song, Sebastian kind of commenting like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But we kept it. So yeah, so sometimes I often like think like maybe I should change it for the performances or something, or I don't know. Yeah. Or just keep. Sometimes it feels long, you know, when you're on stage, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said it's weird because it's a completely different chord progression, right? It's
Yeah.
not the yeah, you just which is fine, you know, I don't you know, it's I don't you know, I don't want to say like because it's unusual, it's bad, you know. So if you like it and I like it, and if you don't feel like it's too long, it's you know, I'm happy to solo. I'm always happy if you give me a little spot. I could go keep going for, you know, for 10 minutes if you let me. So
I
That's
mean,
I'm not
bring it.
true.
complaining.
I mean, I feel like at this point it kind of is what it is, JJ. It's that's the part.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah. 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 I mean, and at this point, like I practiced it enough that I could now play it without even thinking like, okay, how many times do I have to play this part? Or, it's yeah, kind of in my muscle memory. So that's good. If I could just get some of the fingering right. All right, moving on.
I think this show is maybe the most like the show where it played the most. I think I usually just play like two or maybe
That's actually not
or
correct
something.
because after
Yeah.
watching all the other
She's
show
playing very well.
performances,
She's playing very well.
it's not correct.
Oh, I forgot to introduce you. Jody Shelton, everyone. So Jody and we've been working together a long time now. I don't know, almost 10 years, I think. Yeah, and so he is the one who produced my album. He did all the backup vocals, all the piano, some of the guitar, and this is Sebastian Noel. So if you listen to my album and you're amazed by the guitar playing, it's not me. It's him.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because I've been wanting to like. So right there, Sebastian, why did you do that? Because I the first time I watched this, I had no idea you did that. You kind of like deflected and pointed to. I think you were pointing to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm just not good at taking compliments, I guess. I think I was just, you know,
Yeah.
sort of like a reflex, like wanting to pay back the compliment or something like that.
You know what's really funny though? The sort of the gesturing and the way you did it, and the timing of it and everything. Like it's a very typical way Korean people deflect compliments and praise. It's just like so when I was watching that, I'm like, wait a minute. That's kind of
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I should practice some moves, some deflection moves, some compliment deflection moves. I don't know. Yeah, I think I just wanted to, you know, like acknowledge, like when somebody praises a member of the band, and then you want to just include the whole band in it or something, you know.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, yeah. It's like I mean you've heard I also told this story before, like after you came in and you laid all the guitar tracks. I mean, by the way, by that time all the recordings were done and Jody kept insisting that I lay some guitar tracks, my own guitar tracks, and I'm like, Jody, no, no, no. I kind of really resisted, but and then I met you, and then you agreed to play. Um, and then you came in, you laid out all the guitar tracks, replacing all of mine. Um, and after it was done, I had to redo all my vocals at that point because I felt like that was the weakest thing about every song. You know?
Okay, well, I'm glad, you know, that's a good thing.
No,
And
it's a good
that made you
thing.
step up your game. That's, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
yeah, you know, that's a good thing.
yeah. So yeah, so the release of the album, it took another year to get it all done because I had to redo all my vocals. But I mean, in the end, I think it, the result is far better than what it would have been, if you didn't come along. So,
Well,
yay!
I'm glad you're happy. You have to be happy. So
Yeah,
I'm glad.
that's right. I have to be happy. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on.
Go. Where are we? Oh, okay, this is the fun song. All right, okay, here we go. So the other fun song I totally forgot to tell you. You guys can actually sing along. This one. Okay, so the chorus is really simple. So it goes. Na, na, na. There you go. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Okay, you guys heard this before. All right, so yeah, so you guys feel free to sing along in the chorus, harmonize if you want, drum beats, whatever. All right, here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You are lucky enough, you just might find someone to love, someone to make you laugh and cry, someone to hug you when you sigh. Then you are lucky enough, the one you love loves you too. Time and night, build a life, share a journey across time. Here we go. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. If you are lucky enough, the work you do satisfies, and it is more than just a 9 to 5. Make a difference in their lives.
Right there. Can we both swing back?
Now you may wonder if you can stay your band and ask yourself what I heard Sebastian sing. And you went high.
He's tall.
Yeah. All right, so this is our closing song. This has become my favorite closing song. Here's a story, but hold on a second. And backup shoes. Yeah, but these are much more comfortable than the other one. I could actually walk in these. So, yeah, when I was like shoe shopping, I think I got these shoes like last week. I went shoe shopping, and I couldn't decide between the two, so I got them both.
So my left shoe. After the show, this is the only thing I remembered happening while we were on stage.
Oh wait, the story.
But apparently, when I talk to other people who was at the show,
this song is
they
called
don't
Open
remember
My
it.
Blues.
It's kind of
Okay. Oh yeah. When I started writing songs, I had actually two songs. One of them you heard, the one that I didn't write the music for, so I couldn't play it, and another song that I could play. And I would go around to these open mics and play that one song. And that's what the song is about.
2, 3, 4.
This little song of mine needs an audience. This little song of mine needs an audience. So I gotta find me an open mic. I had one song that I can play by myself. It's not much at all, but it's all I got. All I need is a mic and a guitar in my hand, in a dark back room, people sit and listen to all the wannabes sing out their heart and soul. When the song is done, we do it all over again. Sebastian Noel.
Look at you go, Jody.
Jody Shelton. This little song, this little song, this little song of mine needs an audience. So I gotta find me an open mic.
Okay, so that's where the set ends, and then we do an encore afterwards. I think like of all the times I sang this song, this particular performance is probably the best.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I forgot, Sebastian, you brought an amp for that. That sounded really, really good.
Yeah, a distortion pedal. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It surprisingly worked surprisingly well with the acoustic.
Yeah,
I was a little like wasn't sure if it was gonna, because usually that's for electric guitar, but yeah, it gives it a little kick and
yeah. I think
worked
Yeah, I
out
like
well.
the that your line got a laugh, JJ. I think it's in the first verse where you say it's the only song that you can play by yourself, which is
yeah,
there's something
yeah,
about that. It got a good laugh, which is great.
yeah. That one got a good laugh. And I think during the August show, Sebastian, I think that line got a laugh too. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, in the August show. In fact, actually, after you left and we were all, I was hanging out with the audience, uh, one of them mentioned, talked to me specifically about that song and how he loved it. And then another friend of his just happened to stop by, uh, you know, the venue. And so he was like talking all about that song. It's like that was the song that he remembered. So he just kept talking about it and how funny it was. And I'm like, okay.
and this
That's
was your
great.
first song that you ever wrote, or
No, this is the third song I ever wrote, but it never got finished because I didn't know how to write a blues song until 2017. So the second show in 2017, uh, I told Jordan, like, okay, I want to sing this song. I want this to be like the finale song. And and like, but I have no music for it. And he's like, it's a blues song. So Jody just kind of like wrote or played, basically a blues riff like he does here. And I recorded it on my phone, and then I sort of figured out what the melody should be on top of that. And um, I think
right,
the first performance, it was a little wonky. I think the more I sang the song, like the better it got, and the more sort of uh, I don't know, clear it got in terms of like my delivery.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
great.
of course.
Yeah,
Super fun.
yeah, it's a fun song. I feel like I need to come up with another sort of finale song, and I was thinking about writing Open Mic Blues, the sequel to the Open Mic Blues. I'm gonna have to figure out what that's gonna be.
The Madison Square Garden blues, Carnegie Hall blues.
Yeah, Jody, I was kind of waiting for you to like stop playing. You stopped playing, and I was like, oh, you wanted me to come back on. Okay, I'm gonna skip to the song
You know that's
because I kind of talk a lot. All right, so. That was a little error, I think.
That was me, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But at the on the day, I didn't even notice. I only noticed it like when I was watching. smiling? I was smiling because like those the guys are sing.
아리랑 고개로 넘어간다.
I was kind of expecting the audience, like more of a reaction from the audience, but you know, they didn't really react. But you know, whatever. Yeah, here's where I missed my cue.
나를 버리고 가시는 님은 심리도 못 가서 발병난다. 아리요 쓰리요 아라리가 난데 아리요 쓰리요
I'm like backing away from the mic. I'm so afraid of the Korean.
Really? I'm gonna lower this volume a little bit. Give a let's just kind of talk over the song. No, I think the approach that we're taking, the recorded version of this, I think is a lot better. You know?
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit that, like where we are.
Is that going to be a single, JJ?
Yeah, that's gonna be a single. Yeah, that's definitely it. That's a mispronunciation right there. Like, I don't know, I kept making that mistake during practice, and I did it again. Not that anybody noticed. I'm just yelling it out. Right there, like like my mouth was watering too much. I'm like, I needed to swallow. Yeah, I think oh, I'm gonna stop sharing. I like how that ending went.
Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to revisiting that recording because I think it's really turning out beautifully. So
Yeah, it's just that I think I need to redo my vocals. So, because I think the vocals I have in there, unlike Tell Me, I think the Tell Me demo vocals I have, I think it's good enough for a demo release. But Arirang, I think when we release Arirang, I think it needs to be an actual release, not a demo release. So we'll have to work on the vocal for that. But I think
totally.
Is
yeah.
that one done other than your vocals? Or
I don't remember.
We'll have to see. I haven't opened it up the file in a while, so I'll have to see.
Yeah. I think that's the one with the cello, right? I think. Yeah.
It's really beautiful. I mean, I think people are really gonna like it a lot. We just need to make sure that we're happy, because it's a different thing. We just need to make sure that it's,
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. I think my biggest concern is like when other Koreans like listen to the song, like what are they gonna think? Are they gonna think like I butchered the song, or like or actually appreciate like the my interpretation,
I was just gonna say, you get somebody to make a video with lots of like water and cherry blossoms and a filter and light, and then get like millions of clicks from Korea.
So before we end this commentary video show episode, whatever, you guys want to say anything? You want to plug anything? I don't know how many. I have no idea how many people are going to actually watch this. But if there's anything you want to plug.
This is actually like 2 days from, like almost exactly a year from. It's a year from Sunday, right? May 31st. So
okay.
It was,
Oh, right.
exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
But I got nothing to plug right now. Really,
Yeah.
I've got I've got a little electronic project that I'm doing on SoundCloud called La Ballena. If you like down tempo electronic music, and I've got 2 musicals that are just on hold right now because there's no show business.
Do you want people to follow you on social media? What's your handle?
Sure. I'm what am I? just search for Jody Shelton. I'm on social media.
Same here, just my name. I'll pop up.
Yeah.
Not too many Sebastian Noels on there, so.
Jody Shelton, Sebastian Noel, and I'm JJ Co. You could find me on all social media, JJ Co Music, because somebody else took JJ Co, so I had to add something to it. Anyway, thanks guys, and thanks everyone
guys.
for watching.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Okay.
See you soon.
Bye.
How's it going so far? You happy with how's it going so far?
This video? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of whatever goes, and we're just talking a lot about like talking shop a lot, which is fine.
People like to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, I actually like that, and I think I definitely wanted to do one of these episodes with you guys, and I felt like this show was probably the one to do it with. One, because Sebastian's also playing in it, yeah, the very first show. So he's playing in this one and the very first show that we did. And that one I actually already recorded with Catherine. Oh my gosh, when I watched the recording of that, very first show, I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Why am I like doing that on stage? And also I was astounded as to like how bad my vocals were. I was so
from the first show?
I was so pitchy. Almost every single song. About the only song when I wasn't pitchy that much was I Feel at Home.
Well, that's why I think it's so important.
Yeah.
To watch. I mean, I don't know if I told you. I think I've told you this before, but I used to film every one of my shows with my band and with my solo project, and I couldn't go to sleep that night until I'd watched it.
Yeah.
So I would watch the entire show and take notes.
Yeah.
Like I was in class, and I would like take notes of like, oh, it's a little pitchy in the bridge. That new piano part in the chorus is not quite working, and it helped me sort of step out of myself. Or like, this thing you said was stupid, or like, so I really learned a lot from that personally as a performer. But I think it's helping you too, you said, right?
Now it is. Now that I've kind of gotten over the fact that like, I do stupid things on stage. So, yeah.
Well, it's important to know what's the charm of it and what you could improve and to let certain things just be who you are on stage, and then have certain things sort of more mapped stepped out to say on stage, or whatever's going to make you feel like you did the best you could, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still figuring out who I am as an artist, as a performer, as a songwriter. It's still all very much work in progress. Whatever.
Also don't be afraid to tell the same story when we play a certain song. I play with some artists, and I what I learned is that they have a story that they always tell before a specific song, and I feel stupid when I tell the same story twice, but it's a different audience, and they tell it exactly the same way, and
Mm,
it gets a little better every time the way they tell it. So that might be something to consider too, to just like see it as a like your as a little like 30-second storytelling, and you're honing that skill, and you're perfecting that little story that leads up to the song, because I think in your songs that goes a long way too.